Sharp, sharp. The knife was so sharp that it cut through the fabric easily. The sound of the blade was sharp and loud. The sharp wind made her shiver.
Shelf, shelf. The bookshelves were filled with books. The shelf in the kitchen was stocked with canned food. I placed the vase on the shelf to display it.
Shell, shell. The turtle had a hard shell to protect itself. I picked up a shell from the beach. The shell of the nut was too hard to crack.
Shift, shift. The shift in the atmosphere was sudden and strange. He shifted his weight from one foot to the other. She had to shift her focus to the new project.
Shine, shine. The sun shone brightly through the window. The diamonds shone like stars. He shined his shoes before the meeting.
Shiny, shiny. The car had a shiny new coat of paint. The shiny mirror reflected their faces. The shiny medal was a reward for his hard work.
Shoot, shoot. He shot at the target and missed. The gunshot made me jump. The basketball player shot and scored.
Shy, shy. The shy child hid behind his mother. He was too shy to ask her out. The shy smile on her face was endearing.
Sight, sight. The sight of the sunset was breathtaking. He had a sight problem that prevented him from driving. The sight of the Eiffel Tower was spectacular.
Signal, signal. The signal on the radio was weak. The traffic signal turned red. He gave a signal to start the race.
Silent, silent. The room was so silent that you could hear a pin drop. The silent prayers were said. The silent treatment made her uncomfortable.
Silly, silly. He made a silly face to make them laugh. The silly joke was not funny. The silly game was enjoyable.
Similarity, similarity. The similarity between the two stories was uncanny. The similarity in their handwriting was remarkable. The similarity in their features was obvious.
Similarly, similarly. The two events were similarly important. She similarly dressed for the event. He similarly felt about the situation.
Simply, simply. He simply nodded his head in agreement. I simply said goodbye and left. She simply wanted to be understood.
Since, since. Since then, she has been more careful. Since she arrived, everything has changed. I have been waiting here since morning.
Sink. Sink. The water in the sink was cold. He dropped the keys in the sink. The sink was full of dirty dishes.
Slice. Slice. She sliced the apples for the pie. He sliced the bread for the sandwiches. The pizza was sliced into 8 pieces.
Slightly. Slightly. He was slightly injured in the accident. The air was slightly chilly. The box was slightly too big for the shelf.
Smart. Smart. She was smart and talented. He was smart enough to answer the question. The smartphone was expensive.
Smooth. Smooth. The surface was smooth and slippery. The smooth metal was cool to the touch. The smoothie was delicious.
Software. Software. The software was updated. The software was user-friendly. The software was installed successfully.
Soil. Soil. The soil was wet and muddy. The farmer tilled the soil. The soil was the best in the region.
Solid. Solid. The wall was solid and sturdy. The solid rock was difficult to break. The solid foundation was built first.
Southern. Southern. The southern states were warmer. The southern accent was unique. The southern coast was beautiful.
Specifically. Specifically. The drug was specifically designed for the disease. The new law was specifically created for this situation. The speech was specifically tailored for the audience.
Spending. Spending. The spending increased significantly. He was spending too much money. The spending was cut to balance the budget.
Spicy. Spicy. The spicy food was too hot to handle. The spicy sauce was delicious. The spicy curry was her favorite.
Spirit. Spirit. The spirit of the festival was alive. The spirit of the team was strong. The spirit of the competition was high.
Spoken. Spoken. The spoken language was difficult to understand. The spoken word was powerful. The spoken promises were broken.
Spot. Spot. The spot on the wall was difficult to remove. She spotted a mistake in the report. The spot of paint was bright and cheerful.
Stadium. Stadium. The stadium was full of people. The stadium was the biggest in the city. The stadium was built in 1960.
Staff. Staff. The staff was friendly and helpful. The staff was hardworking. The staff was well trained.
Standard. Standard. The standard of the company was high. The standard of the service was excellent. The standard of the product was good.
State. State. The state of the economy was poor. The state of the industry was changing. The state of the art technology was impressive.
Statistic. Statistic. The statistic was alarming. The statistic was unreliable. The statistic was accurate.
Statue. Statue. The statue was of a famous leader. The statue was beautiful. The statue was made of marble.
Stick. Stick. The stick broke in half. He picked up a stick. The stick was too thin to use.
Still. Still. The room was still and quiet. He was still angry. The water was still and clear.
Stranger. Stranger. The stranger seemed familiar. The stranger asked for directions. The stranger left quickly.
Strength. Strength. The strength of the team was impressive. The strength of the material was tested. The strength of the storm was unexpected.
String. String. The string was too short. The string was tied around his finger. The string was strong and thick.
Strongly. Strongly. He felt strongly about the issue. She was strongly opposed to the plan. He was strongly encouraged to go.
Studio. Studio. The studio was full of actors. The studio was used for filming. The studio was open late.
Stuff. Stuff. The stuff in the bag was heavy. The stuff on the table was messy. The stuff in the drawer was forgotten.
Substance. Substance. The substance was dangerous. The substance was tested. The substance was illegal.
Successfully. Successfully. He successfully completed the task. She successfully defended her dissertation. The company successfully launched the product.
Sudden. Sudden. The sudden noise made me jump. The sudden change was unexpected. The sudden storm was powerful.